I'm about to reveal 11 text codes that most women use when they're having an affair. Codes you were never supposed to see. These aren't the obvious signs everyone talks about. These are hidden codes, disguised as innocent messages that she sends to you while she's communicating with him. If you're tired of second-guessing your instincts and ready to learn the truth, she'll never tell you directly. Hit that like button right now, subscribe to this channel, and drop a comment telling me what city you're watching from. This channel gives you the unfiltered truth about female psychology that others are afraid to share. Most experts tell you to look for suspicious numbers in her phone or lipstick on collars. But by the time you find those obvious clues, you've been living with the reality of betrayal for months. The real codes are hidden in plain sight, in the messages she sends you every day. Her guilt, her attempts to deflect suspicion, her emotional withdrawal, it all shows up in how she communicates with you. These 11 codes I'm about to show you work as a system. When you see 3 to 4 of them simultaneously, the affair has already become physical. She's emotionally checked out, and she's already made her choice. Code 1, the connection check. Innocent message, how are you doing? Is everything okay? Real meaning, testing if you suspect anything. When a woman starts cheating, she becomes hypervigilant about your emotional state. These sudden mood checks aren't concerned for your well-being. They're reconnaissance missions. She's trying to gauge whether it's safe to continue what she's doing. Here's the psychology behind this. Guilt creates constant anxiety about being discovered. Every interaction with you becomes a potential threat to her secret. She's not checking on your well-being, she's checking on her security level. A faithful woman asks how you are because she genuinely cares about your day, your feelings, your experiences. A cheating woman asks because she's terrified you might have figured something out. The red flag isn't the question itself, it's the sudden frequency and the strategic timing. These messages often come after periods when she's been unavailable, distant, or when she's returning from time spent with him. She's testing the waters to see if you noticed anything suspicious about her behavior, her mood, or her schedule. I've seen men receive these check-in messages immediately after their girlfriend returns from what was supposedly a girls' night out, but was actually time spent with her affair partner. She's not asking because she missed you. She's asking because she needs to know if her cover story worked. Code 2, digital distance creation. Innocent message. Sorry, just saw this. Phone was on silent during my meeting. Real meaning, creating alibis for periods of unavailability. She's systematically creating digital dead zones around her encounters with him. These explanations always sound completely logical. Dead phone battery, back-to-back meetings, gym sessions, client emergencies. But here's what your gut is trying to process. Affairs that cross physical boundaries require uninterrupted time blocks. Think about the psychology of this. When you're being intimate with someone, your phone becomes a threat. One text from you could destroy the mood, create awkwardness, remind her of her guilt, or worse, make her feel like the cheating girlfriend she's become in that exact moment. So she creates strategic communication blackouts. She puts her phone on airplane mode, leaves it in another room entirely, or simply ignores your messages during her appointments. These aren't random communication gaps, they follow patterns. Usually the same times of day, the same days of the week. The psychological tell that reveals her guilt is the over-apologizing for delayed responses. A simple, sorry, just saw this, becomes elaborate paragraphs of explanation. She's not just explaining to you, she's trying to convince herself that she has legitimate reasons for going dark. The guilt makes her overcompensate with unnecessary details and excessive justification. I once worked with a man whose girlfriend had communication gaps every Tuesday and Thursday between 1 p.m. and 4 p.m. Always profuse apologies, always detailed explanations about client meetings or yoga classes that ran long. Those were her standing appointment times with her affair partner. The guilt made her create elaborate cover stories for what should have been simple delays. Code 3, reverse projection. Innocent message. You're acting weird today. Is everything okay with us? Real meaning, projecting her guilt onto you. This is one of the most psychologically manipulative codes because it completely flips the script. Instead of you having legitimate reasons to be suspicious of her, now she's questioning you. This is classic psychological defense. The best defense is a good offense. When someone is living a double life, they assume every interaction has hidden meaning. They project their own deception onto your completely innocent behavior. In her mind, you must be suspicious because she knows she's giving you legitimate reasons to be suspicious. But instead of acknowledging her guilt, she turns it around on you. This serves multiple purposes beyond just deflection. First, it puts you on the defensive, making you explain your behavior instead of questioning hers. Second, it creates doubt in your mind about your own perceptions. Third, it trains you to stop asking questions because every inquiry gets turned into an attack on your character. I've worked with men who were accused of being paranoid, controlling, or insecure simply for asking normal relationship questions like, "How was your day?" or "Who were you with?" The girlfriend's guilt made her interpret every innocent question as an interrogation. Code 4, the alibi calendar. Innocent message. Meeting Sarah at 7 p.m. at that Italian place on 5th Street, then maybe checking out that bookstore she mentioned. Should be back around 10:30, but you know how we lose track of time when we get talking. Real meaning, detailed alibi to cover part of evening with lover. This is sophisticated psychological misdirection. Instead of her usual vague, going out with the girls, you now get detailed itineraries. This isn't transparency. It's a smokescreen, designed to create a false sense of openness. She's providing excessive detail about innocent activities to hide her guilty ones. It's a psychological trick where overwhelming you with verifiable information about things that don't matter makes you feel informed while keeping you completely in the dark about things that do matter. The psychology behind this is guilt management and cognitive dissonance reduction. By giving you lots of honest information about her innocent activities, she convinces herself that she's not really lying to you. She's just not telling you everything. It's a mental game she plays to maintain her self-image as an honest person while living fundamentally dishonestly. But here's where it gets really sophisticated. She often uses real activities to hide fake ones. She really is meeting Sarah for dinner at 7 p.m., but she's not going straight home afterward like she implies. She's meeting him for 2 hours, then coming home. The dinner with Sarah becomes her alibi for the entire evening, even though it only covers the first part of it. She might even text you during dinner. "Having such a great time with Sarah. This place is amazing. Definitely staying longer than planned." What she's really doing is creating justification for coming home late. The "staying longer" isn't with Sarah, it's with him, but the text creates a believable cover story. Code 5, emotional thermostat drop. Innocent message. "See you at home." Okay. Real meaning, emotional energy is being spent elsewhere. Her messages used to have warmth, personality, connection. Now they read like business communications between polite strangers. No emotion, no affection, no personal connection. This happens because emotional energy is finite, and hers is being invested elsewhere. What's left for you are the practical necessities of maintaining the appearance of a relationship without actual emotional investment. There's a deeper mechanism at work. When someone is betraying you intimately, expressing emotional connection through text starts to feel false to them. Their guilt makes loving words toward you feel like lies, so they avoid them entirely. Code 6, defensive aggression. Innocent message. Why? Is there something specific you want to know? Real meaning, preemptive attack on your curiosity. Simple, innocent questions now produce defensive, almost hostile responses. You ask, "How was your day?" And suddenly you're being accused of being suspicious or controlling. This defensiveness comes from guilt-induced paranoia. Every question from you requires her to quickly assess which reality she needs to respond from: the faithful partner reality or the cheating partner reality. This mental effort makes her reactive and defensive. The defensive deflection serves a purpose. It trains you to stop asking questions. Your natural curiosity about your partner's life becomes reframed as an invasion of privacy. Code number 7, geographic proof points. Innocent message. At this cute cafe on Main Street, coffee photo, so cozy, staying a bit longer. Real meaning, creating alibi with evidence for part of her time. She documents the innocent parts of her time to explain all her time. Photos of food, selfies with friends, receipts. These are evidence for the cover-up. This isn't transparency. It's strategic documentation. She's building evidence for the parts of her evening she can document while carefully hiding the parts she can't. The red flag isn't the documentation itself. It's the sudden change from general to specific communication, combined with the fact that all this detail still doesn't explain the behavior changes you notice when she comes home. Code 8, future in the fog. Innocent message, I might check out that new place, instead of, we should try that new restaurant. Real meaning, avoiding we statements and future planning. She's no longer thinking of you as a team. Her future planning involves someone else. Making plans with you feels dishonest because she's not sure you'll be in her future. Every we statement forces her to confront the fact that she's already mentally moved on while still living the pretense of your relationship. It's psychologically easier to keep everything singular and disconnected. You'll notice she stops seeking emotional comfort from you through text. Bad days at work used to result in long conversations where she vented and you provided support. Now she handles emotional needs elsewhere. Code 9, guilt compensation system. Innocent message, you're such an amazing boyfriend. I feel so lucky to have you. Real meaning, attempting to balance the scales of betrayal. These sudden sweet messages come out of nowhere, often after she's been with him. It's not genuine love. It's emotional mathematics that never actually balances. She's trying to manage guilt by being artificially sweet to you. If she treats you extra well, maybe she can offset the fact that she's betraying you. It's psychologically easier to send a loving text than to end her affair. The timing is the critical tell. These messages don't align with anything special you've done. They appear after periods of distance or defensive behavior, feeling scripted rather than genuine. Code 10, attention redirection. Innocent message. By the way, how's that situation at work going? Real meaning, deflecting attention from her behavior. When she senses you're starting to suspect, she shifts focus to your problems. Suddenly, she's very interested in your work, friends, hobbies, anything to keep the spotlight off her. This serves a dual purpose. It makes her appear caring and invested, while simultaneously preventing you from examining her behavior too closely. She becomes the concerned girlfriend, asking about your life precisely when you should be questioning hers. The psychology is strategic redirection. By showing interest in your challenges, she creates the illusion of emotional connection while protecting her secret. Code 11, digital communication control. Innocent message. Don't text me tomorrow after 2 p.m. I have that important presentation. Real meaning, creating unavailability zones for meetings with lover. She starts managing your attempts to contact her. She creates reasonable reasons why you shouldn't text her at certain times. This is sophisticated control. Instead of just not responding to your messages, she's training you not to send them in the first place. She's conditioning your communication patterns to protect her affair schedule. The red flag is the sudden need to control when you can contact your own girlfriend. A faithful woman doesn't need to create communication blackout periods. When you see 3 to 4 of these codes simultaneously, the physical affair is already established and routine. These aren't early warning signs, they're confirmation signs. The goal of recognizing these patterns isn't to catch her red-handed. The goal is clarity. Clarity about where you really stand. Clarity about whether you're fighting for a relationship that still exists or clinging to one that's already over. Don't become a digital detective. Don't screenshot every message or analyze timestamps obsessively. These patterns are for your awareness, not for building a case. Instead, match her energy. If her texts are emotionally distant, Don't try to force connection. If she's being logistical, respond logistically. Stop investing more emotional energy than she's giving. Focus on your own life. The time you spend analyzing her messages could be spent building relationships and activities that actually bring you joy. Don't let her communication patterns become your obsession. Remember, you deserve someone who's excited to text you back, someone whose messages bring you closer instead of creating distance, someone who doesn't need guilt compensation because they're not doing anything to feel guilty about. If this video helped you see the truth, share it with someone who might need it. Subscribe for more insights into female psychology that others won't tell you. Now tell me in the comments, did you recognize any of these patterns? What city are you watching from? Let's support each other in the comments below.